Today we're riding as many black diamond single tracks as we can at Hollister. Let's jump right in. What's up guys, welcome to Trail Tune Up. My name's Jason. It's been a minute since we've made a video, and today we're riding all the black diamond trails that we can find at Hollister. This one's called Lights Out. It's a nice little single track. Part of the reason I'm making this video is, well, let me be honest, I'm probably an intermediate rider at best. I really enjoy, you know, slow, low riding between first, second, maybe even third gear. And I'm making this video to just show you, you don't have to be an expert rider to ride some of these black diamond single tracks. I mean, like I said, I'm intermediate at best, and you'll see that I can handle these just fine. I'm not going to be smashing through these trails, but just want to show you that there's really nothing to fear. So if you consider yourself to be, you know, a fairly seasoned rider, you've been riding for a couple years, and you're ready to venture on the black diamonds, there's nothing to be afraid of. These things, while they are somewhat smaller in terms of the width of the track, you don't got to worry about anyone coming the opposite way. All you got to do is make sure you know how to quickly brake, quickly turn, downshift, all the normal stuff you know how to do on your dirt bike. So that's it for me blabbing. Let's just enjoy the riding. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to mention, some of you who subscribe to the channel already know this, but I'm on a 24 KTM 350 XWF, which in my opinion is probably the #1 trail bike out. I mean, of course there's two strokes. I'll call it the #1 4-stroke trail bike that you can have. It's a 350, so it doesn't have that 450 power, but you know, if you were to get a 500, that thing is just so heavy. And when you're riding trails like this, you want to be agile. So a 350 I find is just perfect for me. I'm coming from riding a 250 X, a CRF 250X. It was a 2004, so this is like 21 years of dirt bike innovation. So this thing feels so nice to me compared to my last bike. But I love this thing. I've done a few mods to it. You can check out the channel and look for other videos where I talk about all the mods I've done to this bike. Nothing crazy. They were all mods I did myself, besides remapping the ECU, because, well, I don't know how to do that, so I sent it in to Best Dual Sport Bikes to get that done. But everything else I did to the bike, and I will say, man, this bike runs so much nicer now. It felt so choked up before. It was still faster, obviously, than my 250, but now it just really opened it up. And I rode it stock for about 3 months or so before I made the mods, just to make sure I had a good feel for what stock was like. I really wanted to be able to tell if the mods I made, spent around $1,000 or so, were actually, you know, worth it and giving me some improvement. And they most certainly were. And I will say, for $1,000, Best Dual Sports Bike Power Bundle is probably the best bang for your buck on the market. All right, now I'll actually shut up and just get into some riding. that does it for lights out. Next up, we're gonna hit Garcia Gulch. That's our next Black Diamond single track here at Hollister. Let's see what Garcia's Gulch has in store for us. I will be honest, I'm not super familiar with these trails. Well, some of them I am, but not all of them. Some of them I'll be riding for the first time today. But if you're ever going on a trail for the first time, just take it easy. You don't gotta impress anyone. Just make sure you know what's coming around each corner, because some things are super deceptive, like that we just went up. It was an uphill straight into like a horseshoe turn. So, you know, just ride within your abilities. You're not trying to impress anyone, not even yourself. Just take it chill until you really learn the trails. And even then, ride within your skill set. dry on some of these trails, but for the most part it's not super dusty and loose, which is nice. If you see a nice little open space and you can tell what's coming up next, feel free to open it up, but don't be speeding into a blind corner because you're potentially going to hurt yourself. All right, we see a yield sign, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to look both ways, and that was Garcia's Gulch. Fun little trail, that one. And now we're going to make our way into the area where you can hit, I think, about 3 or 4 different black diamond single tracks. Taking Old Ranch Road over to the roundabout, passing the Windmill. There's Windmill Maze, but I think we're gonna start with OK Corral, which is right over there. That one right there is Dinosaur Loop. So let's make our way up OK Corral. Big old bumps right from the start. Yeah, and I mean, besides the sort of thin trails, you're not going to see too many like crazy hill climbs. You are going to run into quite a few big bumps, and those can be problematic with speed, but you know, just give it some gas and hold on and you'll be fine. Sometimes there's little offshoots like that one, but for the most part you're always going to end up back on the main trail. Big bumps right here. Had to bring it into first. Another reason I'm such a big fan of these black diamond single tracks is they just have so many nice little turns, and I really love riding kind of like what feels like in the forest. I love being surrounded by trees and greenery. It's super fun, and of course, you know, riding out in the wide open is fun too, but something so majestic feeling about having, you know, cover for trees and grass and all sorts of cool stuff around you, and by stuff I mean nature. You do sometimes need to watch out for fallen logs or big rocks in the middle of the trail, but that's all part of Riding nice and slow, taking your time, keeping it safe. Was a big old hairpin turn out of nowhere. Are there harder trails than this at Hollister? Yes, most definitely. If anyone knows about the infamous Troll Trail, that one's pretty tough. It's almost has some hard enduro feel to it, but these are just going to be straight up trails. I highly doubt you're going to get past third gear on most of these trails, and if you are, you're probably like a pro or something, because that's just crazy to be past third gear on some of these, or you're in really low RPMs and in third gear. All right, and that was OK Corral, which brings us over to Dinosaur Loop. Yeah, let's do Dinosaur Loop now. Now, the reason I did OK Corral just then was I knew it'd bring me back here. I do not know where Dinosaur Loop spits you out, but we're certainly going to find out. Got a little squirrely right there. Hey, look, we made it to third gear. I just got whipped by that branch. That one hurt. One of the things that I like to do to kind of keep safe, if I ever find I end up in second or third gear going up a hill, I'll usually bump it down to first right when I get to the top, because if there's a last second turn right there, first gear is going to slow you down enough to be able to make it without even having to touch your brakes. Just a little tip from a barely intermediate rider, so take it for what it's worth. Split-second decision. I wasn't sure where it was going to go just then. And whenever you see those split-off trails, I kind of make my decision based on whichever one seems like the most people have gone on, in case it's some random trail some guy cut or girl cut on their bike and it leads to nowhere or very difficult terrain. That's why I usually choose the path most taken. And you know, they say choose the path less taken. But in this instance, when we're on a dirt bike, we're gonna choose the path that's been taken. Another little tip I'll give you guys that I didn't figure out until a couple years into riding: whenever you downshift and you get that wheel bump where your tire just is not catching, just pull in the clutch like halfway. If you have to go all the way, go for it, and then slowly let it out. That'll usually get your tire to catch when it seems to just be sort of bumping up and down on the loose dirt trying to grab traction. I found that to be very useful in moments where I'm flying down a hill and my tire isn't catching and I'm getting a little worried, but it eventually catches and end up being all good. Alright, it looks like Dinosaur Loop let us off right where we needed to get off, which is right back where we were, which is awesome. And lastly, we're going to turn around and we're going to hit Windmill Maze, one of my favorites that I've hit many times before. We're going to let this gentleman go first if he's going. I don't think he is. He is not. Alright, so Windmill Maze, here we go. A great thing about Windmill Maze is it'll spit you back out into, I think it's called like Black Bear or something like that. We'll figure out the name when we get there. But Windmill Maze is dope how it leads from one black diamond to another. So what I would suggest is if you're hitting these, do Windmill Maze early because it is the longest of these, since it does spit out into another one. But I do think you can pull out onto one of the fire trails in between. But I like to go from one right into the other. Big old bumps right here. so fun when you're just twisting up a little hill. I love that. Y'all good?
Yeah, I took a wrong turn.
Oh shit.
To the ground.
I feel you. I was about to jump off and be like, you want me to help you get it up there, but it seems like he's got it handled, and he did, very much so. But it never hurts to help. Wanted to let him give it a go himself first. And for the most part, I mean, I'm on a 4-stroke, but you'll see a lot of 2-strokes out on these trails. I actually was really interested in getting a 2-stroke, but being that I live in California, there were no new 2-strokes that were going to be considered green sticker or red sticker compliant. And I've heard varying stories about people who have gotten 24 and 25 2-strokes in California that received a red sticker, but I wasn't willing to chance it. That's why I went with this bike. It was a green sticker. I was guaranteed to be all good. The law is a little up in the air in the way that they're sorting things out, but leave a comment down below if you've been able to get a sticker for your 2021 or newer bike. Not sure when they're going to be actually cracking down on it, but right now it just seems like such a case-by-case situation. I have heard of a lot of people having luck getting their stickers when they do it through the actual getting their actual stickers when they do it through the dealership. All right, I'm gonna head along through here. I think that bird was injured. I hope I didn't run it over. I know I didn't, but it looked like it barely got out of the way. Usually they'll dart out of your way, but it didn't seem like that one was. Are you waiting for someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the 2-stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all good. He went off trail slightly. He didn't fall or anything, but he's like right behind me. He's good. Okay, for sure. Take it easy, man. Alright, well now I know I got some 2-strokes behind me, which I'm still going to ride at my skill level, but I might pick it up a bit so I'm not blocking off their fun. And if I feel them on my tail for a while, I'm just gonna pull over and let them pass. thing is, when you're on a 4-stroke, it's hard to hear the 2 strokes behind you, so I really have no idea where they are because I can't hear them. But I'm also not going to look backwards while I'm on this tight of a trail. So okay, I looked backwards because I was going slow. I don't see him. We're good. Alright, well that spit us out onto 4 corners. I guess I remembered incorrectly. I could have sworn that that trail spits you out into another black diamond, but I guess I was wrong. Or maybe I'm not remembering correctly, and maybe I did jump on a different trail. I don't know. We'll review the footage and see. Here we are. This is actually what I was thinking of. So it's not bear or anything black bear, it's black, it's back tank. So back tank is the next black diamond single track that we're going to be hitting up. That's probably the most difficult part about the trail, that sort of small climb into those rocks that we just hit. But really just gas it and hold on, you'll be fine. Now we're gonna take a look at fence line. Oh, it's closed?
Yeah.
Ah, for sure. I guess that's it. So that was Ren's Ranch that we just hit up. Take it easy, man. Alright, well, that concludes today's video of hitting as many black diamond single tracks here at Hollister as we can in a row. There of course are more than those, and we did miss out on fence line. I guess they've turned fence line into something that you can't enter from that side. Oh, Warp Canyon! Alright, so we have not hit Warp Canyon yet. I think we're gonna go for Warp Canyon. Looks like these guys get the same idea. Alright, so that does not conclude our video for today. Here we are at Warp Canyon, and we'll see what this one holds for us. And I will say, this line of black diamond single trails that we've just done and that we're still doing, it's perfect. You barely gotta hop on to any fire roads once you're up here in the Ren's area, and it's nice to just get those back to back lines in and flow through. But I will say, after the 5th or 6th one, I don't know what number this is, but you're gonna start to feel it a little bit unless your conditioning is like super up there. I feel fine. I'm at like 70%, but my day just started. I'm fairly conditioned in terms of riding because I ride almost every weekend. So do what you will with that bit of information, but hitting the black diamonds back to back to back, it's a nice little workout, and feels good. Up. And that does it for Warp Canyon. We're now back on Old Ranch Road, and I would say that that probably does it for today's video. Appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment down below of your favorite black diamond single track that we rode today, or some other ones that I need to go find and check out. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you out on the trail. Take care.